Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the OS Talk. My name is Ztrot and today we're going to be going over the Taiko World Cup 2015 finals discussion. We have with us today Deadbeat, Gezo, and Timus and Tasha. How are all you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Fine.
I'm pretty hyped for the grand finals, to be honest.
Well, I'm seeing a repeat of last year or maybe years before. But this should be pretty interesting to see, that's for sure, with it being Taiwan versus Japan. But let's kind of go back a little bit and go over some of the matches that actually happened. I unfortunately was not here, so I will be going off just solid results. But of course, you guys who were able to watch and commentate on it and talk about it, definitely kind of go into the highlights of what happened. So, looking into finals week 1. We saw Taiwan versus the United States, which Taiwan seems to win that 6-4 in favor. But apparently there's a pretty big story around how that actually happened. So if you guys wouldn't mind going into that for the viewers to kind of know what happened during that match if they missed it, that'd be awesome.
Okay, so this was a rather interesting match. I think to everyone's surprise, the United States actually took the first 4 points of the match. So they were actually 4-0 at one point. And then what happened was Taiwan actually got some of their good players joining halfway through the match. And so for the 5th game they got ZX Baka. And then from there Taiwan just snowballed. Like they just took the next 6 games and USA just couldn't do anything about it.
So my question is like, was ZX Baka in them, were they just not present at the time, or was there like some kind of confliction with the times that they weren't there to begin with, or do you feel like maybe they waited for that just to, kind of lull the United States into a false sense of win and then, oh hey, he's here, time to lose?
I'm not sure, I personally just think he was late.
Yeah, I just don't think he was there.
Because they didn't use Ishida either.
That's crazy. So what you're telling me, because I wasn't here, but the entire tide of the entire match, which was 4 in favor of the United States, was completely overwritten by one person joining?
Yep, pretty much.
Man, talk about a morale boost.
Yeah, once ZX Baka joined, like the entire Taiwan did so much better.
I'm sorry, what was that? I heard you, Deadbeat, but someone else was saying something as well. Go ahead.
What I said was when ZX Baka actually joined the game, the entire Taiwan team just did so much better.
Yeah, so ZX Baka just helped carry the team, basically, you'd say.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Wow, I can guarantee if I was there, the United States would not be too happy. I did actually get a personal apology from 2 Fruitcakes. Because if you remember the last recap we did, they said, oh no man, we're going to do it. We're going to be at least 3rd place this year. And it didn't happen, unfortunately. But they did a very good job. And I think they came pretty far this year.
Most definitely.
It's almost amusing looking at the results just when ZX Baka does join, because the matches were like pretty well in United States' favor just before that. And I feel like it almost shouldn't have mattered that one extra like good player had been brought in, but it made such a huge difference. Like everyone started playing better. It wasn't just like ZX Baka coming in. It was like Howard and Monkey D. Luffy were both doing really well after that.
Yeah, it was like a really motivational boost for them. And as you can, and the aftermatches after the 4th point, USA got a little bit weaker. I think. Because most of the plays went with so many random misses, and yeah, that's too bad for them.
So with the United States and everything, I feel like that morale boost was what they needed. But as I was saying, 2 Fruitcakes actually sent me a message and said that it kind of came down to they had already played all the maps that they were guaranteed wins on, they felt. And when ZX Baka did get back, was there more mods used there? Did they start playing from the double time pool or something like that?
It looks like there were a good amount of free mod and no mod picks actually.
Free mod and no mod picks.
Well, there's extensive Utopia, Blaze, Scrap Syndrome, Extreme Fantasy.
And these were all played after ZX Boxer showed up?
Yep.
Yeah, so I feel like the United States might have been able to win it if they didn't have to go into Fremont territory. But I would imagine at 4 wins in, the map pool's kind of exhausted of like just, you know, no mod picks. Well, at least some of the no mod picks. And they had already went through the hidden stuff, I would assume, unless that got banned out.
One hidden map got banned, so they got played. Sorry, so they played that one.
Yeah, it was Mephisto, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
I thought we saw Mephisto play.
Yeah, Mephisto was the map that we saw played. Like, that was the hidden pick.
Oh right, I thought you said that was the one that got banned.
No.
Alright, and I mean, very impressive play from Taiwan there. I gotta give hats off to him. So let's move on to the next match there, as I know the United States probably doesn't want to reminisce on that too long, if they're anything like I am. Oh man, coming from 4-0 and then losing it. Oh, the feels that they must have had.
They just need to win one more match, and they could have at least gone to tiebreaker.
Oh man.
It looked like in films where the hero team was at 0, then they back up and the finish were winning with 1 more point.
Man, that is nuts. The next match doesn't seem as eventful. The South Korean team versus Hong Kong went next, and it looks like Hong Kong won that 6-0. So Hong Kong definitely showing that they were a lot stronger than people gave them credit for this year. I would like to point that out, most definitely, because a lot of people thought they were going to get taken out so early on, and they kept showing that time and time again that they were in it to win it, you know, and they really gave it their best.
Yeah, no, that was a Hong Kong just went right over South Korea there. I think the smallest score gap was 277,000 points.
Yeah, that was definitely the smallest one. It was on II, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it was.
Like, all the other scores were like huge score gaps. Like, I think the second lowest was almost 500,000. So that just shows you just how big of a score gap there was. With like the highest one being like 2.1 million.
1.2 million by Maware on double
Yeah,
time.
there was also one saying nearly 2.2 million, but that's because there was only one player on the South Korean team at that point.
Yeah, that's right. Regardless, very, very big score differences. The 1.2 million one is the one that didn't have any bugs with it, so yeah,
that was
that's
the
huge.
yeah, that was a double time pick.
So they pretty much had that one on point then. Were there some close matches, or was it just completely crushed throughout the entire?
It was
Well,
it
like
was
we
a
said,
stomp.
The closest match we had was 277,000 score difference, so it was pretty stompy.
Man, and that's crazy because a lot of people had high hopes for South Korea to take this, and you know, getting into the finals, they definitely showed that they wanted to win, but it just looks like Hong Kong really wanted that win so much better.
You know, I definitely felt that going to that match, Hong Kong was above South Korea at that point.
Yeah, I'm looking here at the MP link, and even in the warm-up matches, man,
No mercy.
Hong Kong. It does look like the MP links kind of bugged a few times. It does seem, but it does look like they didn't stand too much of a chance there. Moving on to the third match in finals week 1, Japan versus France, which was actually a pretty talked about matchup there for a while, as France was doing really good, incredibly strong so far. I know the United States wanted to get a chance to rematch them, but it just didn't seem like that was going to happen. It looks like they lost out to Japan though, in 6-2 in favor of Japan. So how did that match go, guys?
Why don't we ask Gizzo?
Yeah, it was exactly last year.
You feel like it's a repeat?
Yeah,
Alright.
I actually think it went quite well.
while points were exactly like last year. It was 1-0, 1-1, 1-2, and then Japan stomped us.
Yeah, it looks like you guys there for a little bit. You took Kimi no Kiseki, or however you say that, and then they beat you on Blaze, and you rebutted with Sakura Mirage, and then they beat you on Acid Burst, and then it just kind of went downhill after Acid Burst. Why do you feel that was, Gezo? Do you feel that there was just no way you guys could beat that? They were just too consistent, or do you feel like nerves got to you guys?
Well, Japan was consistent with Hidden, but we banned it. Looking at the links, Kimi no Kiseki was a really close call. It played on Cosmos miss, because if he hadn't missed, well, we wouldn't have won this one either.
Yeah, that was a really unfortunate miss by Cosmo.
I think as the first 4 plays were mostly misses from Cosmo, and that because of these misses it was possible for you to win 2 times, twice.
I remember on Sakura Mirage, I believe Cosmo started like completely late on the map and had a bunch of misses in the beginning.
Yeah, it looks like he has 31 misses. I actually think a few people did the same thing. I do seem to remember more than one person actually missing quite a bit at the start.
But I mean, looking at the scores though, I mean the 2 that France did win, they won by such a small amount. It was like 37,000 or 41,000, and then just the ones that Japan won on, it's scary how good they are, because I mean they were beating even France by like 122,000 or above. I think the biggest
Up
difference
to
was on the last map.
630,000.
Yeah, that was on the double time pick, which was 630,000, which was really big score difference.
Yeah, that's nuts. And then it doesn't seem to get too much better for France moving into the next match there, as they versed up against Taiwan. This time only taking 1 victory out of that to the 6 that Taiwan got. So, Geza, what would you say happened there? It definitely looks like, well, Taiwan we know firsthand, they're a real scary team, so getting in there and playing with them, that's pretty terrifying. Just to begin with, we see in the warm-up matches, they had you by 466,000 points, and then 1,008,000.
Well, second warm-up was a flat 300 BPM,
Ouch!
which no one can play.
Yeah, it doesn't look like too many people had very much fun with that one. I'm looking at the misses here, and I will say you actually had a pretty good accuracy there, but what is going on with Monkey D. Luffy? He looks like he knew what he was doing there. I mean, holy crap. Everybody else is around the same accuracy. I mean, I don't know how Timmy Ackman failed with the 86%.
We all failed.
Oh, man. But everybody else has a really low accuracy there, and then all of a sudden this Monkey D. Luffy's like, oh, hey, dude, I do this every day, 96.24.
I even said in RTS that it was a map for 1 person.
Yeah, it definitely looks to be that way, with Monkey D. Luffy just kind of outshining everybody with that one.
Yeah, he did really well in that match. Like, I was actually quite surprised how well he did.
Yeah, we're getting all hyped up, and it's just a warm-up match.
It was pretty fun at the end.
I would like to mention that one win of France with the double time pick, Planet Hell. The only way of winning was that because Zeke X Baka did a miss on that one part, and that gave France the only win on that round.
By 12,000.
And I mean,
yes.
Even on the maps that they did like really well, like as a team, France still like couldn't keep up in accuracy. Like for example, on the first map, Sakura Mirage, they all full comboed, every player full combo, but like just the accuracy difference alone made a 10,000 difference in the score.
Yeah, and
Quite ridiculous.
You could see that though, like Melon Chang with the double S there, ZX Baka with the 99.76, and Monkey D. Luffy the 99.70, and everybody else on the France team has incredible accuracy, but it's just not enough. The 99.35, 29.29.
On Tower of Eiffel, we almost won this one, but Timmy Ahmed got 200 misses, and that pretty much costed us a win.
Well, I wouldn't say 200, but definitely 2 misses. They had a little bit of trouble there. Yeah, Tower Heaven, you guys could have probably won that if it wasn't for the 2 misses that he had. There was only
it was a win if he didn't miss.
Yeah, I think you guys would have won in accuracy there if there wasn't a miss, because it was a 44,000 difference in score, And I think those misses were a little bit spread out, so I think that you guys lost a fair amount of score from that. Because it looks like he had 708 combo, and then that should only be about a like 38,000 score difference. So I guess he missed a little bit sooner as well, or a little bit later after that as well.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be what happened with that match. But it was still, it looked pretty, okay, so why was Revolution Death Squad played?
Oh, that was an exhibition match.
Ah, cool.
They played that just because they can.
Yeah,
Also,
just
it
for the
was
stream.
Yeah,
94 misses.
it was just the end of the stream, and they got, what? Let's do it either way.
Oh, who was it?
I think it's all so cute because every member of their team also played. I mean, 5 from France and 4 of Taiwan. That was so cute. It was so cute.
The best part was we were watching the stream, and I think Tasha, was Ephemeral there?
I think Ephemeral was there for the last one, yeah.
Yeah. So we were watching the Revolution Death Squad, and at the end, I think someone had about 4,200 combo, and I cannot remember who it was.
It was Timmy.
Yeah. And so I was just looking at him, and I was like, oh yeah, don't worry, he's gonna miss right now. Misses. Oh.
I'm ashamed of him.
Yeah, the chat didn't like me for that one.
Oh, that's a commentator curse. If
Well, I
I've
mean,
ever
you're
seen it.
holding-
That's not a
you're
curse,
holding
that's a prediction.
When you're holding upwards of
It's a
4,000
prophecy.
combo, you got, like, at that point, you're shaking. Like, it doesn't matter how good of a player you are. When you have that big of a combo and you know you still have a lot more to play, you get nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I can relate to that.
It's the same with having an SS for 100% for the whole time. Till the end, you get so nervous and anxiety is so much high on that level.
Yeah, but
And
it
then you
washes
get the
away.
100.
Yeah, it washes away so quick though. Like you could be so like freaking out, worried about it. Say you have the double S and you're like halfway through the map. If you get that 1/100, you're instantly back to playing like you normally were. All the stress just gone.
Well, I mean, it depends
Yeah.
on whether or not you're going for the SS or if you're going for the full combo, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had times where I'm going for just, like, say, a full combo on something and I get nervous as hell just because I can't seem to concentrate on the map because I'm looking at my score so much or my combo.
That's why I love the shift tab. Remove the UI.
Yeah, but even with that,
That's-
you still end up
that's
looking at
the
like the
best.
top right or something, and that's even worse in Taiko.
No, man. I drop everything. I tab away the score bar. I shift tab the whole UI. I even removed the little hit detection thing and the keyboard thing on the side. I play like completely clean. That's the only way I can anymore. Because if I play with other stuff, I go, ooh, what's that? Aww.
That's
Look
I think
over
I'm
the
at the
side.
point where I can actually play with like all sorts of weird stuff just on the screen. I think I've been exposed to too many different skins.
I can. I mean, I could play the goofy stuff, but it's still with all the crazy skins. I have some of the what the community would say is some of the harder skins to read with, but it's really different when you know you're doing good and you know you haven't dropped. It's like when I was playing that Rave Up Tonight extra dip.
Speaking of Trace, in the match we played Solar,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I'm not gonna pass, I'm not gonna. And in the end, 29 misses
That's
Yeah,
not bad, though.
Soul's a
for
pretty hard hitting map.
second play.
Yeah, just quickly, D-Tron. Remember Gypsy Tronic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Solar's the equivalent for this week.
Yeah.
Ah.
I just thought I'd
Okay.
catch you up on that.
Thank you.
And that was actually the first song we saw in the next match that we had on Sunday, which was Taiwan versus Hong Kong.
Yeah, they actually
Yeah, that-
opened with Solar, which is very entertaining.
That actually looks like that went pretty much in favor of Taiwan there. Let's look at the history though while we're here. Okay, so obviously with the warm-ups there, they went tit for tat, both getting a win on each one of the warm-ups. But then Sola came out, and ooh, that was actually a pretty close match though. I can't really say that was just like one out normally. I mean, 61,000 points, that's not too bad. And that was a hidden pick, right?
Yep.
Yep.
What surprised me is that Iceman 007 got the worst performance of both, because Iceman is really known for being the hidden player with doing absolutely perfectly with him, but I don't know what happened there.
Probably the
I would
scroll
like
speed.
to say, yeah, I was gonna say, I probably something that we've noticed with like higher end players and stuff is once they get good at something, and I'm not saying all high end players, obviously. This is just this is just kind of a thing I've seen throughout the years with all the game modes, not just Taiko. But when you get a player that's good at a mod, or they're specifically like, yo, I only roll hard rock or I only roll hidden, usually what happens is you kind of see the maps that that player plays kind of tailor to that mod with time. And I think Iceman might have come up across Sola and not really prepared for slow scroll speed hidden, as I would assume most of the hidden maps he plays have decent scroll speeds. I do know that it's kind of generally, it's kind of a general thing that people don't really like super slow scroll speeds on their hidden maps. I could be wrong and some people eat it up, but from what I've heard and what I've seen with the map picks that we've witnessed throughout this tournament, it looks like slow scroll speed is something that most Taiko players like to avoid.
Slow speed is really hard with hidden. I mean, you have like in the moment 10 notes you have to memorize or get the right rhythm with it. And if there's a stream, maybe with pattern changes like 1/4 to 1/6, it's just terrible to remember all the notes in the right positions.
Yes.
Like in Mephisto.
All right, and it looks like when they played Shuffle Heaven, they lost by 700,000 points there. So that was a pretty clear win. A lot of misses from everybody on Hong Kong side, actually. The least amount of misses we had was AABC, and they had a 22 miss. But very consistent on Taiwan's side. And moving on to Sakura Mirage, that was a very close match. It looks
That was
like,
the closest.
that looks like that was built up on accuracy alone. That Taiwan took that one.
It's kind of sad that Oscar didn't hit any the big notes, the big finishes, because his score was the reason, one of the reasons Hong Kong did so not badly but worse than Taiwan.
Okay,
Yeah.
just as a little heads up, I do actually remember this map, or this exact map. For those of you who don't actually remember, Sakura Mirage was one of the free mod picks. Everyone picked
Oh.
Hard Rock except for Oscar. That is why his score is a lot less,
Okay.
because everyone else had the score multiplier.
Yeah, and we were mentioning that during the commentary that it wasn't really a wise idea for him to play without a mod, just because like we knew that Taiwan was going to pick all three of them were going to have mods. So you know, if they're all going to full combo, then you're not going to be able to beat them.
Nope. I think that they probably went on the... I probably think that their safe bet was, hey, if we take one guy without a mod, there's a good chance they might miss because they're all trying to go hard rock. But they really should have looked at who they're versing and thought about it. Like, at this point, they were already a few points down. I would have just said, ride with it and see what happens. You know, I would have jumped the mod, but you know, that's just going all Captain Hindsight there, and there's no reason to get in too much with that. So we'll move on. I noticed there's a lot of Leaf songs in this map pool.
They were just Mephisto and Utopia. We just saw them a lot,
Yeah.
that's all.
Yep.
Okay, and it looks like the next one was relatively close again, 134,000 points. Few misses on Hong Kong's side when they happened. Little Oscar there with the 10, but probably not too good, but all the scores seem relatively like evened out for the most part. Everybody getting around 1 million points, but it's just those little misses that stop that. And the last match, it seems here, was well, I can't even see the title of this one.
Mawari.
Oh,
Double time
yeah.
pick.
okay.
Yeah.
And that one was by 139,000 points.
Yeah, we
That
saw Mawari, the Leaf maps, and Sakura Mirage in like most of the matches.
If I remember correctly, like for the Maraware mat, I feel like Hong Kong could have probably won that. They were actually leading that originally, and then I think just a couple slips from some other players just kind of caused it to, you know, become too much to recover the score. Because I think they were in the lead for a little while in that one.
I
Yeah, they
don't
were.
actually remember, to be honest.
Yeah, they were until the point where Iceman did the first miss. At that point, it was just hard to get the lead going, and the Alex Barker carried for the Taiwan team.
Yeah, that full combo from ZX Bucket definitely did help Taiwan take that one.
6% so.
Alright, so let's go ahead and just recap real quick all the matches that's went through. I know we've just got done talking about them and everything, but so what we saw last week, we saw all the teams from the losers bracket come up, and from the winners bracket, everybody had their epic battles here, and at the end of everything, we're looking at a repeat from not last Taiko World Cup, but the Taiko World Cup before that, correct?
Yeah, well,
Maybe?
we had Taiwan and Japan face off against each other.
Yeah, and not only that, this actually happened one time in the tournament already, too. So we've kind of seen that, and I know a lot of people that have watched are probably going to deduce, oh, well, hey, we've seen them go head-to-head, and, well, we kind of got a good idea who's going to win this. But I would not say that that is guaranteed, guys, because Japan and Taiwan went with each other, and that's what got Taiwan knocked down to the losers bracket. But Taiwan came back. They managed to come and climb out of the losers bracket and meet Japan right again at the grand finals here. So definitely going to be super exciting. And France is going to take that third place. So that's actually pretty cool for them. I mean, you know, it might be again, but that's still a heck of an honor, man.
It's
I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here playing the smallest violin for the United States at the moment, because we're never gonna get third place.
Nope.
We've come so far.
But you got fourth place in 2011.
Yeah, that's very true, but all I asked was third place, and two fruitcakes failed me.
But yeah,
I just had to point something out quickly. I just couldn't look at the Taiko World Cup number 3. The finals was Taiwan Team A versus Hong Kong Team A.
Yeah.
Yeah, Japan and Taiwan actually faced in the semi-finals in that one.
So
that's when
was it the second Taiko World Cup that was Japan versus Taiwan then?
I shall keep looking.
While he's doing that, I just wanted to mention that the match that we actually did see Taiwan and Japan face off earlier in this Taiko World Cup was during the semifinals of the winners bracket.
Mm-hmm.
And they did quite well considering, because I mean, after getting knocked out into the losers bracket by Japan, they needed to win a match against the United States, they needed to win a match against Hong Kong, and then they needed to win a match against France. So they had to win 3 matches compared to just the one extra match that Japan needed to win against France.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely had to fight for where they're at. They had to fight really hard for that opportunity to go up against Japan again.
Yeah,
but
and another thing to consider as well is that Taiwan has really good players at really hard maps. And I feel like in the semifinals, the maps might not have been hard enough for them to really take advantage of their play. So I feel like they might actually do a bit better against Japan during the grand finals than they did against them in the semifinals.
Yeah, I wanted to point that out to the viewers that might be watching this. Don't expect to see the same repeat. I think it's going to be a lot closer than it was the first time here. And we'll definitely be able to see that. I mean, with the consistency plays seen from the finals so far from Taiwan and Japan, like, it's going to be neck and neck. I seriously believe every match is going to be, you know, right down to the accuracy.
Okay, and I did find the match. First Taiko World Cup 2011. Taiwan first place, Japan was second. So yeah, that'll be the last time they went up against each other in the finals.
And 2011 is the only year where we didn't get to the 16.
Oh really? Bummer.
Yeah, we got United Kingdom, but we had Mittens, Sander, and Rokodo. Only Rokodo is from United Kingdom.
Yeah, I remember him. He was a really good player when he was around.
But Mittens, back in the day, he was really strong.
If I can just point one more thing up, Pedro, because I think you might like this.
South Korea.
Going back to the first Taiko World Cup, United States actually placed 4th.
Woo!
That's
Came
close to
close
3rd.
to greatness.
not quite third, but it's close.
Yeah, but as people might not know, the map pool is not changing. It will stay the same from the finals to the grand finals. That's not gonna be adjusted at all. So all the maps that you saw last week, you'll see next week. That match, is it going to be a best of 11, or is it going to be best of 12, or I don't know how that's going to work. Actually,
it might be a best of 13. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, best of 13. Yeah, that would make more sense.
It was best of 11.
It is best of 11? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't 100% for sure. Because I know, I'm not 100%, but I know during one of the grand finals for, I think it was the OS World Cup, they let everybody get, instead of one warm-up match, it was two, because it was kind of a big event. I don't know if it's going to be stretched out like that again, and I don't know if that was just a one-year thing, but we'll definitely see. So before we wrap this up, guys, I want to get into predictions, and obviously this is each person's personal opinion, and in no way, shape, or form is it like guaranteed to be the outcome. But I just want to get that little disclaimer out the way. I personally think Taiwan might be able to take this. I mean, they've been fighting really hard for it, so it should be really interesting. I mean, Japan's a tough team to beat, but Taiwan's come out of a really tough place to begin with, when they lost and got knocked down to the losers bracket. So I'm looking forward to the grand finals there, but I'm going to go ahead and throw my 2 cents in Taiwan.
I have to give the advantage to Japan here just because they came out of the winners bracket, so they only need to win 1 set of matches compared to Taiwan that needs to win 2, which could cause issues when they realize what the harder maps are that they want to ban out, that Taiwan does well on.
Yeah, that's very true. The first win might be okay, but yeah, the second one they'd know exactly what to ban.
I think Taiwan definitely does have a good shot though. The main thing with that though is they need to make sure that ZX Bucket and Ishida are actually there. If one of those players aren't actually there, it's going to be really hard for Taiwan. I kind of want to say Japan will win.
Alright, what about you guys? Gezo and Timus, what do you think?
Well, I think I can't really get a really opinion of that because I don't see any of those teams in the lead. I think it's on the tiebreaker, and it's a win for Japan, but I'm not really sure. But because, as you said, those teams got their points of advantages and disadvantages, and it's gonna be a tiebreaker, and I think Japan could win it, but I'm not sure.
I actually do think if this goes to a tiebreaker, I don't care who wins. If we see a tiebreaker in this match, that will probably be the best thing. Which was double tiebreaker, I'd just be like, I'd lose myself. I'd probably just stop talking.
The commentator hype would be real.
It would be the first. It would probably be the first and only grand finals match that lasts 2 hours. I would say.
I would literally just like push my face against the screen, and I'd just be like watching, and just like not blink.
Get you some nachos and popcorn, man.
I'll take those nachos. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a match to see.
What do you think, Gizo?
I can't tell whether Japan or Taiwan will win because each of the players have their own strengths and own weaknesses.
So do you think it'll come down to map selection?
Why? It's probably gonna be hard road bans because at least that 215 or so BPM one will get banned for sure.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. That's kind of a high BPM, and taken into accuracy, I know the way the taiko patterns work.
Or it won't get banned, but won't get picked either.
Yeah, that's very true. Because I don't think either team would want to mess with something that can potentially destroy accuracy like that so easily. And I know with taiko, I'm not 100% sure on this, so you experts, please correct me if I'm wrong. But taiko already has a really strict judgment window to begin with, so I can't imagine Hard Rock making that judgment window any easier.
Yeah, the judgment window is a little bit stricter than standard is. So yeah. OD5 in taiko is a little bit harder than OD5 in standard.
A little bit.
It's just
I would.
OD5 is just like OD8 or something like that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Thought it was
But
about OD7.
OD10
yeah.
is OD10 is still OD10.
Oh man.
But OD10 is really insane to get a good accuracy on. For instance, and if you put that with 200 or 220 BPM, it's impossible to get a higher. And most leaderboards at this BPM is almost full hidden.
Okay, and I also want to put out the match schedule real quick. I know it's only one match, guys, but it is a little bit different because I do believe this is the first match in the tournament that has been on a half-hour time. This is going to be at 10:30 UTC. So most of the matches have usually started on the hour. This one's going to start on the half hour, guys. So definitely be ready for that. I would probably come because I would imagine we're probably going to be talking about stuff on stream beforehand, so I'd probably come at 10 anyways.
Yeah, I think what we might do is we might see if we can open up the stream a bit early.
Yeah,
and kind of do like a before the match Q&A. See if we can get some extra hype building before the match and whatnot. Also, I don't think Detroit mentioned, but that's on the Sunday, not the Saturday. But the Sunday.
Yeah, it is Sunday. I apologize. That's on the 12th. 2 days after my birthday. Hooray.
Just remember, guys,
But
spam Detroit happy birthday in the chat. He'll love you forever.
Yeah. But anyways, I do believe that's kind of everything we could cover right now. We are going to have a follow episode up to this that will cover the ends of it and the results and how the entire tournament went as whole. We've done this for the OS World Cup as well, so it's definitely going to be something that you see normally with the tournaments. So definitely be here Sunday, the 12th. It's going to get super crazy. We're going to have like one of the best matches going down here. And then if your tournament whistle is not satisfied at that, registration for the Catch the Beat World Cup has started. So that is something to look forward to too if you're just really into the competitive scene and like to watch these players at these high levels of play.
Anyway, so yeah, that's I guess that's us done for today. We will see you next week, and we hope you enjoy the weekend match.
Yep, and remember guys, rhythm's only a click away, or a drum press, or a piano keyboard, or a fruit catch.
Salad.
Yeah, salad away. Oh man, that's great. Now I'm hungry. All right, though. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Why?